All right, welcome back to Fleckus Talks, the podcast, episode 302. Today on the show, EBT ends tomorrow. We'll tell you why some are happy and some are sad. Then, new evidence just dropped that proves the government was brutally spying on Republicans. It makes Watergate look like no big deal. Then in Cringe of the Week, this Barstool Girls podcast bites the hand that feeds them. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, a high school principal had a meeting with the worst performing students and their parents cry racism. All this and more is Fleckus Talks, the podcast, episode 302, ranked the best news podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleckus Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Rapboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, you've heard me talk about Cove Pure before, and it's for good reason. It's by far the best water purifier I have ever used. I have one in my house, and I also have one in my studio. We use it every day, and it makes our water taste absolutely amazing. There's no sketchy contaminants, it's just pure, crisp water. But here's something you might not realize. When people take medications, their bodies don't absorb all of it. Much of it gets flushed down the toilet. And guess what? Water treatment plants are horrible at filtering out those leftover pharmaceuticals. Things like antibiotics, antidepressants, and even hormone disruptors from things like birth control pills. No wonder our society's so screwed up. Luckily, Cove Pure is lab certified to remove up to 99.9% of impurities, including pharmaceutical drugs. Me and Rapboy do not mess around when it comes to our water, and we have peace of mind using Cove Pure knowing that we're getting pure, crisp water and nothing else. And Cove Pure makes it so easy. It sits on your countertop, no plumbers, no drilling. You just fill it up and plug it in. You can even select whatever temperature you want, hot, cold, or warm with the tap of a button. You wouldn't take a stranger's drug prescription, so why accept their leftovers in your water? You need to go to covepure.com/Fleckus right now, and for a limited time, you can get $200 off of your Cove Pure. Covepure.com/Fleckus is the website. It's also linked below. Thank you to Cove Pure for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Cove Pure for sponsoring.
Thank you, Cove Pure.
I love that water.
Me too.
We do have it in the studio and in the house, and it's the only water I'm drinking, and it does taste very good, and it is very healthy. So there you go.
There you go.
All right, happy Halloween, everybody.
Yep.
Said Halloween with an M.
I heard it. We can skip that.
Okay.
Skip the preamble sometimes.
I hope everyone's got a funny outfit on.
Yeah.
Watching
Friday, Halloween on Friday, you know?
That's fun.
That's once every 12 and a half years.
You can get like...
I said 12 and a half.
I don't get it.
How does that make sense?
All right. Well, Halloween on a Friday...
See, how do you like it?
...is exciting because if you're in high school, you can go out and like have fun and get into trouble.
Yeah. Smash some pumpkins, steal younger kids' candy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I have a picture here from when I was in Halloween.
Yeah.
I was Andre Agassi.
Oh.
You see that?
Yeah. Andre Agassi with shit all over him.
Well, I was covered in mustard because I think I had just eaten a hot dog. But when I was a little kid, this is how I dressed. I would always wear like really baggy clothes, and then I would also wipe my hands on my shirt.
Yeah.
And my dad would see me and go, "What was that?" And I would be like, "What?" He's like, "You're wiping your hands on your shirt." I could tell what you ate today when he got home from work. He's like, "I could tell what you ate today because it's like on your shirt. Ketchup, mustard,
Yeah.
a little bit of this, a little bit of that."
So when did that stop? When did you learn?
Yeah,
You don't know.
Still figuring it out. Still working on it.
Okay.
Hope everyone has a nice Halloween.
Yeah.
And, go out and have fun.
It's one of those holidays where it's better if you have little kids. It's a little kid holiday.
Of course. All right, well, let's get right into the show. We have a great show.
Don't be a slut.
Yeah, don't be dressing like a slut
out there.
That's a good point to our 85% male audience.
Don't be a slut.
Don't be a slut. All right, first things first, Trump had a health check from a doctor, and he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, according to his physical, Trump is 6'3", 224 pounds, and around 4.8% body fat.
Similar build to DK Metcalf.
Yeah. What's under that suit?
He's just bricked.
And I think you may have just gotten tricked by a satire site because it doesn't say anything in this physical about his body fat percent.
But he is healthy.
Yeah.
That is what the physical said. And then if he's at 4.8%, that puts me at what, 9% max?
Yeah, 5.5%, 6%.
Yeah.
So you're doing well.
Basically.
No need to go to a doctor.
Basically done with the diet.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into our first story. Is what we mentioned in the intro. Government spying, they have new evidence. We've been talking about this for a while. Everyone knew this, but we never knew how bad it was. And they have new evidence, and it's not looking good.
I've recently been informed by Verizon that at least 11 members with Verizon accounts were affected. That includes a hard line for Senator Cruz's office and a staffer's cell phone for former Senator Loeffler. AT&T informed me they challenged the legal basis for Jack Smith's efforts, and Smith backed down.
So, yeah, they were using the phone services to tap everybody, and it ended up being about 400 people, and apparently 20% of Senate Republicans' cell phones.
Yeah, and I think he said 11 there, and if we have about 50 senators on the right, that's where the 20% comes from. And Ted Cruz's landline, they're spying on Ted Cruz. They're doing whatever the fuck they wanted.
And Ted Cruz.
It's
like, what do you think? It's not like it's like Steve Bannon or something. It's like, what do you think Ted Cruz is talking
It's
about?
like declaring undying support for Israel or something on
Yeah.
the phone, and they get it.
And what I think when I see something like this, like maybe they're getting info or they're getting like ahead of like Republican strategy. I think they're also looking for blackmail.
For sure.
They're trying to figure out who's got a little secret girlfriend across town, who's maybe secretly gay, Lindsey Graham.
Maybe.
Got the stuff on his butt.
Yeah, and they're doing it with the staffers too. So yeah, it's very dark. It's almost as if we keep learning, Republicans this whole time said they were spying. They did this with Trump's campaign. They did this. And then they kept doing it. So that initial volley of spying and like counterintelligence during 2016, and then this was during the Biden term. Mm-hmm. So they kept doubling down on it, right?
Exactly. They did it during Obama with George Papadopoulos and those guys.
They got used to it, I guess, is the point.
And then they go, oh, this is how we do it. This is how we run this system. It's pretty easy. And can you read these two tweets?
Yeah, Jack Smith subpoenaed Cruz's cell phone records from AT&T. AT&T was ordered by corrupt Judge James Boasberg, banning AT&T from disclosing the subpoena to Cruz. Boasberg told AT&T that if Cruz was informed, Cruz would destroy evidence and imperil national security.
What do you think Ted Cruz is doing?
Making up stories. Ted Cruz.
It's all about Ted Cruz.
Burn bags, yeah.
And then, Mike Benz had a good point, too.
He said the same Judge Boasberg who let Ray Epps off scot-free for January 6 ordered a secret subpoena of Ted Cruz's cell phone and banned AT&T from telling Ted Cruz the FBI was spying on his phone.
Very interesting. And then Oilfield Rando had a good point where he said, guys, we can't use power to go after Democrats because someday they might use power to go after Republicans.
Yeah.
It's like, we're already fucked. They already did it.
The ship has already sailed. It's over. It's time to actually fight back. And I mean, we hear about this from Senator Grassley, who's like an 85-year-old guy. Do we have people fighting back? Is there anyone he's like, I found this reading like a snail's pace. Him and Mitch McConnell are on the case. We need young fighters. Right?
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Somewhere here.
Somewhere. He licks his thumb like an old man. Only an old man can do. Like this. Thumb through the pages. Come on, guys.
Yeah. So everyone needs to go to jail.
Pretty much.
All right.
A lot of these and that's why you hear James Brennan or Comey or one of these guys talking to the camera, doing their social media videos, saying, well, I'm going to fight this, and this is unjust persecution. This is all just comeuppance for them, for those types of guys. Christopher Wray, Judge Boasberg. What the fuck are we doing?
Caught you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next segment. The Mamdani election is coming up next week. And I just found this clip, which I hadn't seen before, of him talking about prisons and the problem with the prison system.
The way that prisons are set up in our society, I would argue that they do not work. They do not make us safer. The instinct is to just take that person, the source of that harm, the source of that issue, and then just throw them away. Put them in a cage and throw away the key. And that doesn't address the reason why that harm was created in the first place. A lot of times, people who create trauma for others are those who themselves went through trauma earlier in their own lives. Right. And I bring all of this up to say that again, like when we talk about policing, I don't think the system actually makes us safer. I think what it does is it just removes problems out of view.
What the fuck is he talking about?
That's the point. Remove the problem out of view. It's so crazy how much it's Rorschach tests where they see something and they go, that's wrong. And we see something and go, that's what it's for.
Yeah. So it's some foreshadowing of what to expect if he's the mayor. He has the empathy for the criminals, which we always talk about. And he'll say stuff like, the system doesn't work, as if like letting the violent repeat offenders go over and over is like the system in action.
I know.
Like he pretends like, oh, guys, clearly it's not working. It's like, no, you're actually not doing what the system was meant to do. And
You're
then
not following the system plan.
Yeah.
The system plan is like clear. He's in Rikers. He's downstate. And yeah, it's so crazy to see. And there's this certain academic angle that a guy like Mamdani has. Like trauma creates trauma. And it's like, well, why don't we put them all in cages and then there's no trauma? They traumatize each other.
the cycle ends.
Yeah, society moves on. But that weird academic tone, like he's discovering some new thing. Some of the issues in America and the world at large are just so basic that we solved them 3,000 years ago. We don't need to discuss them. Oh, that guy's a horse thief. Kill him. Oh, that guy killed someone. Kill him too. And these are old things that don't need to be reinvented, but you have this weird sympathetic tone.
You need to understand why. Why did he push the lady down the stairs? Maybe when he was younger, someone pushed him.
Yeah.
Put him in a fucking box.
Box him, ship him out, right?
Box him up, send him out.
And if he wins, which it's looking like he's going to get rid of Rikers. He's going to completely shut down Rikers. I think that's under the purview of the mayor, right?
Yeah, he's going to do something like that. And a lot of times people talk about the cost of prison and like, well, it's not actually worth it. There's a stat, $162 per day per inmate on like a weighted national average. Doesn't have to be that much.
I'll also take that deal. That's like part of what we're up to,
Yeah, but leave him in a box and give him schlop.
Yeah.
$1 a day.
And even I agree in private prisons and all that, like the industrialization of prisons, whatever. But that's a pretty good deal. It costs $162 a day to keep a violent, retarded person away from me and my family, my children. I'm walking away. Yeah. That's a great deal.
That is a good deal. But he is, like you said, leading in the polls, and they're running the playbook where they just load us up with foreigners and say, vote for the brown guy. He just did a new ad. It's not good.
Hola Nueva York! Ya pueden salir a votar y estoy pidiendo su apoyo. Por favor, busque su lugar de votación más cercano y voten por mí para ser su próximo alcalde.
Spanish. He's speaking Spanish.
You speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Can you play the beginning again?
He says, Hola Nueva York, right?
Hola Nueva York! Ya pueden salir a
That's
votar.
bad.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
Add it to his new fake accent list. Come on.
Yeah, it's not even AI, unfortunately. And it's not a conspiracy theory when we say they load up New York with brown people and then say, vote for the brown guy.
Yeah.
We have white population in New York City over the years. Where does that graph start?
1910, 98%, and then 1920, 97%. And then it obviously falls off a cliff right after the Hart-Celler Act, 1960 what? 4 was that?
Yeah, we told you guys about
Boom,
that.
52% in the next decade, and now it's down to 32% white in New York.
Yeah, and then we have like a little explanation of who came in and who went out.
I was the first baby born in New York City in 1991, and since then, my Irish-Italian heritage has been replaced by Islam. Irish, 540K to 440K. Italians, 840 to 540. And Islam, 200K to 800K. Beers for burkas and spaghetti for Sharia.
Not good.
Yeah, it's ugly.
And they're obviously running this playbook nationwide. Omar Fatah is running in Minneapolis, and listen to what he was up to at his rally.
Assalamu alaikum. Somalia. Hiran State. Mawisle. Early voting was hadda illa November 4. I need your vote.
I've seen enough.
No American flags. He's waving a Somali flag. He's not even hiding it. And he's speaking Somali to a bunch of Somalis. And this is just phase 2 of the plan.
Yeah. The plan is deep in Minneapolis. So New York, we're kind of seeing the consequences. If Mamdani and Omar Fateh win, and we've been talking about it. The election in New York is coming up, obviously, pretty quickly. And there's been a lot of chatter about denaturalizing Mamdani on the right. And I don't think it's going to go anywhere, to be honest. But where he lied on some of his immigration papers and stuff like that. And then Omar Fateh, I'm sure there's a similar story. I'm not sure of the circumstances of how he got here. But we need, the right wing in general needs a shock and awe moment for one of these types of guys. And I don't think it's going to work for Mamdani. It's too late. But we need a high profile, like, deport.
Perp walk.
You know what I mean? We need a high profile one to show people we're serious. And I'm worried we're not getting that, or we don't have the stones to do it, right?
And then he'll have all the people that support him protesting, and then we can send in ICE and the feds, and then they can like wrestle in the streets.
Yeah.
And then we win in the end. I kind of like that idea.
Me too.
Stephen Miller, please.
Stephen, please. Someone who's an example, a flashpoint, right?
Yeah, I heard it here first. All right. Which takes us to our next mini section. Speaking of illegals voting and foreigners voting, California Sheriff's Office, this guy is basically whistleblowing on how illegals are allowed to vote in elections.
The online voter registration system, it seems to be an honor system. Anybody can put information in there to register to vote. All you have to do is click a box and say that you're not lying, and then you'll get an email from the Secretary of State or something in the mail saying, thank you for registering to vote. And there you are. Once you're on the voter rolls.
So if you're an illegal, why wouldn't you vote?
I know.
Because if you don't vote, Democrats will lose and you'll be deported. And then if you do vote, Democrats will win. You'll get citizenship and benefits. Of course, they're voting.
Yeah,
of course
they're
they've been
incentivized to
voting.
it.
Yeah, like, and then what's the downside? You get deported if you don't vote. You stay if you do vote. Like, you have to vote.
It's an easy parlay. That was already going to happen. I had to risk it. Yeah, the honor system. We live in like one of the most advanced countries on Earth, in the history of Earth. And we're going with the honor system with 100 million foreigners here.
Honor system and people who come from countries that don't understand that concept.
Yeah.
And then also people who come here illegally now saying, all right.
I'm starting my honor right now.
Honor system starts now.
Yeah.
We have another example out of Ohio.
Ohio uncovers over 1,000 non-citizens appearing registered to vote, sends cases to DOJ for prosecution. Secretary of State Frank LaRose says 167 individuals appear to have cast ballots in federal elections since 2018. And so that's part of it, too. It's like there's a bottleneck where they count the votes the night of, and then since 2018, they collect them and then find them for prosecution 7 years later when the other side's in power finally.
Yeah. And then those numbers don't seem like a lot, but it actually is more than that. Mm-hmm. That's just like kind of who they caught after the fact. Believe me, the numbers are much more than that.
And then that's just a prosecutorial discretion thing. Like, obviously, Biden's DOJ was not heavily motivated to go root out voter fraud, right? After he won with 81 million votes. Wasn't high on the list for them.
Yeah, good point. We're moving on now. And obviously, illegals shouldn't be voting. But you know who else shouldn't be voting?
Who?
For the same reason, people on EBT. Because if you're on EBT, how do you not vote Democrat?
Yeah.
You're basically being bought and paid for with the EBT as a bribe. Like you can import desperate third worlders and tell them to vote for you or they'll get deported. And then you can create an entire class of people, some of those being the imported people as well, who are dependent on the system and dependent on the benefits.
Add in a few MSNBC boomers and some blue-haired liberal girls, all of a sudden you got a lock.
All of a sudden you got 81 million.
You got a coalition, baby.
And, eventually you'll be like, oh, do you want to vote Democrat? You're not sure? Do you want to go back to work?
Yeah.
Or do you want to keep living off the $2,800 a month for free and $50 a month in rent in Section 8? Republicans want to take that away.
I know what deal.
And then, boom, there you go. Now you have at least a few million more voters. Mm-hmm. Which takes us to our EBT section. We have a big, strong EBT section. It's a beautiful EBT section.
Okay.
It's going to be very good. First, we're going to start with this group of people, these women who were arrested for stealing. Listen to what they were stealing, though.
Cell phone video shows two women berating and attacking workers Sunday evening as stunned shoppers stare in disbelief.
That's crazy. Oh, nah.
Others watching the combative confrontation can't understand it.
I'm speechless because Doesn't matter the reason, is not supposed to act like that.
Investigators say the women deliberately slipped higher-priced food like lobster, ribeye steaks, and truffle butter in blue bags while they were checking out. And police say when workers confronted them about not paying for the items, the women started attacking them and yelling racial slurs.
People are shoplifting. They're getting beat up for trying to stop the people. That's not fair to them. I mean, it's really messed up.
Police arrested.
Now, this wasn't EBT related because EBT doesn't expire until tomorrow. This was just purely for the love of the game.
Yeah, they just wanted it. Truffle butter.
Lobster, truffle butter, ribeyes.
Yeah. The highest ticket items in the grocery store, and then they're going to fight for it, too.
Yeah, and here's a picture of what those ladies looked like. There they are. That's pretty good.
Typical. This is typical. And that's why you say, we're going to start stealing if you don't do your EBT. I don't think you have much negotiating room. You're already doing it.
What would that look like?
Yeah. We've seen it. Urban Decay every fucking time.
You're going to steal lobster, truffle butter, and ribeyes? What?
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Which takes us to our actual EBT section. We have some Snap stats I thought were important.
Yeah, so we've talked about this. We're going to reiterate some of the better points that we've seen on the internet over the course of the last week, because obviously this has become a flashpoint, like bigger discussion. 42 million people are on Snap, which we've already talked about. 70% of Snap recipients are overweight or obese. Only 4.2 million, or 10%, are disabled, and 44% of those disabilities are due to obesity or obesity-related illnesses. 3.9 million SNAP recipients are the children of illegal aliens, anchor babies.
That's a lot.
1.5 million are refugees or asylees from other countries. This is not okay, and it's not sustainable.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Bad numbers, fat fucks, pigs, disgusting shit.
And then they go, I'm such a fat fuck pig that I can't work. And then it's like you have like this vicious cycle.
Yeah, so if you take them off Snap for 2 months, they lose the weight. All of a sudden, they're not disabled. They can't get back on Snap. It's a cycle in our direction.
I'm feeling better.
Yeah, my shoulders moving. Everything's going great.
I'm gonna start caddying. Yeah. And then we have a graph here about Snap distribution over the years. And look how it takes a straight line up at 2019, 2020.
Yeah, it went from around 80 billion annual spend to 140 straight line up. And it's remained elevated, even though it's post-COVID, right?
Yeah, I was going to try and blame George Floyd.
You probably can.
But it probably is George Floyd-ish, but it's also mostly COVID.
Yeah.
And obviously it never went back down. And then with that opportunity of COVID, the Democrats got these people who are now on the what's it called?
Payroll, on the
the take. And they're basically saying, vote Democrat forever and you can keep living like this.
Yeah.
There was a stat too. It was like $4.5 billion per month in 2019, and now it's $11 billion per month as of late.
Yeah.
So it's not good. And a lot of the issues when it comes to Snap and the reason why people on the right are so upset is because people aren't efficient with the Snap benefits they get. Listen to how this woman shops with her Snap.
We're at Dollar General getting some lunch, and I know that sounds weird, but we're broke and we need to use EBT. So Derek wants a Gatorade. The only one of these I think we don't have is this one, so I'm gonna get this one for Silas. 3 for $5. That's actually really good. We'll get one more. I need one of these. I haven't had coffee today. I'm gonna get Silas a sandwich. We'll get some Pringles.
Fellow mom here. I'm starting to figure out why you have no money, and it's because you can't manage it to save your life, literally. I can buy a week's worth of healthy lunch ingredients with what you just spent on 4 bottles of refrigerated sugar and 1 pre-made sandwich. To everybody who has sent me hate mail over this issue, this right here is why people are so fed up with EBT. If we were talking about keeping a single mother and her children from the brink of starvation, we could have that conversation. But that's not what's happening here. We're sick of watching people go to their local 7-Eleven and load up on junk food and then tell us that we have to pay for it or we are heartless monsters. So no, I'm not going to...
Very good.
That's the thing. Broke people drink water. Broke people, you know what they do? They don't buy that little individual Pringle can thing. They get chips. They get a big bulk off-brand chip, and they have a clip that goes on the top of it, and they clip it up. That's what broke people do. Broke people don't drink Gatorade. Broke people, they use Wonder Bread, and they make sandwiches with maybe bologna, salami, you know? They don't buy the pre-packaged sandwiches. So yeah, this is the type of shit we're furious about. And then that's a white woman. It's a white woman mismanaging it. Race has nothing to do with it. and Dollar General slurps it up. They go, yeah.
And a lot of these companies are kept alive from all these reckless EBT SNAP spenders.
Of course.
And then if you look at Amazon and you see what's eligible for SNAP and EBT, lobster tails get delivered to you on Amazon.
Yeah.
Edible underwear available for EBT.
What do you mean I can't have a sexy night with my wife just because I'm on EBT?
I'm gonna eat underwear.
And I think we've covered it on the show before. Nerd gummy clusters, those double stuff Oreos, all that type of shit. All the unhealthiest stuff you could imagine shipped straight to your door, your little rat hole. You don't even have to leave.
And this is why Mr. X commits tax fraud.
Yeah, totally.
He's right.
That's a common theme of our episodes. You know, back when we were covering like the Ukraine war and our tax dollars going there, foreign aid to other countries. I think one time we almost even suggested tax fraud season, but we can't do that. But man, if there's ever a case for tax fraud when you see some shit like this.
It's very true.
Yeah.
And along with the wasteful spending, another thing that makes us mad is there's a lot of foreigners on these programs. Listen to these next two clips back to back.
Exploring all options, African Immigrant Family Services says that more than 90% of the families they help rely on food assistance.
What?
90?
What was that?
You slipped it by? There you go. Next story, really quick.
Yeah, what was that?
90% of African immigrants.
90% of the African immigrants, you get free food and free stuff, and I pay more?
Yeah. Joker laugh time, you know?
And then this guy is a refugee, and he has a similar issue.
Without the government support, I cannot stay maybe a month or 2 months.
Pima County Chairman Rex Scott told News for Tucson he's deeply concerned about the impact on local refugees.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. You speak English. You're an Iraq refugee, you speak English? It's work time.
Yeah, what is everyone's issue?
There's this weird thing where these refugees think, well, you know, there's a limit, to how many refugees we can take in, period, right? And I want to see where that limit is. And Trump has actually lowered it too, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of done taking them in. And they're mostly reserved for white Afrikaners now who are racially persecuted because they're white. But this whole refugee thing, like, all right, you got here. You're not in a war-torn country. Let's cook. We just gave you the gift of a lifetime. And we're supposed to be continually paying for you forever?
I need a gift of a lifetime every month.
A gift of a lifetime every month on the first. And if it's not on the first, I go to city council. I have free time to beg for this, right?
How do I eat?
Yeah.
Like, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Took an Uber?
I know, man.
Do that.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, too, a lot of these illegals and foreigners would probably self-deport if their stuff got cut off.
Totally.
So keep that in mind. And we have a few more insightful tweets here.
Yeah, Oilfield Rando said, I want Snap to shut down for a month just to observe how much foreign remittances plummet in that month.
Very true.
Yeah, we need a proxy. We've been running this big experiment and we don't have a control anymore. Mm-hmm. We don't have a control month where zero was happening. So we got to start breaking things to see how that affects like the ripple butterfly effect of the world, right?
Yeah.
Doug Mackey said, here's how the hustle works. Illegal aliens come in, drop an anchor baby. Whole family gets SNAP, rent assistance, Medicaid, you name it. Parents work cash jobs, sell SNAP for cash, send money back home to build a retirement home.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and then remember, when someone's getting paid cash too, like we talk about illegal construction workers, if you get paid cash and you get paid $70K, say, working construction, that's like the equivalent take-home money of someone making like $130K in America.
You get it tax-free? Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. Can you read that last tweet?
The left, we need immigrants to support the economy. Also the left, we need to steal a bunch of your money to pay welfare to all these immigrants we brought in to support the economy.
It's very true. And I believe they get $188 per baby per month tax-free.
Dark.
And that's just for the food.
Yeah.
Doesn't count for everything else. But there is good news. 90,000 non-citizens in the U.S. are now losing access to SNAP welfare benefits under President Trump's new policies. Non-citizens.
Yeah, and I think that, and it should have never been a single one getting anything.
Yeah,
and
so it's not even good news.
And this isn't even all of them, 90,000, so.
Barely any, actually. Bad news.
And then that's another thing, too, like, I guess we're going to get into it later, so I won't get ahead of ourselves. But speaking of remittances, let's get into this little section here. We talked about how the soft hacks of EBT, right? Like where people are selling plates with it, and so they have no overhead costs for their little business. Another thing that we've kind of recently been learning about is how people have been sending barrels to their foreign families. Here's a graphic that says New York City welfare food is shipped back in barrels to the Dominican Republic, then sold on the black market.
Some people have entire stores in other countries of just shit like this sent over.
Yeah. So this article kind of covered it about literally welfare food, but this is a common practice in ethnic communities, especially for like the Caribbean and those island nations like the Dominican Republic. Jamaica is a big one. And so people buy these barrels, fill them up with shit, and then ship them like freight. It costs like $150 to ship. And then it basically sustains their family for a full month. We're going to show a video really quick of what that looks like.
Pack another barrel with me for Jamaica. So we are using this extra large barrel. I got it for 75 Canadian dollars, and this is basically what it looks like. This time we're packing mostly food stuff as usual, and we got all, if not most of our things from Costco. So for all of those who are constantly talking about I was buying Dollarama food, I hope you guys are happy.
So you get it. They've stuffed a barrel full of consumer packaged goods and ship it to Jamaica or whatever. And this woman was just an example. I don't know what she bought it with. You know, I'm not going to accuse her of anything. But obviously some of our SNAP and EBT users are also doing this, because a lot of the SNAP and EBT users are international poors. And what do international poors have? Family back home that they need the help. On the Jamaica, man. He needs a barrel of the shit, man.
Very true.
And who pays for it? You.
Mr. X.
You and Mr. X and me.
Three different people.
Yep, exactly.
And then we have Tim Waltz trying to get involved, and he said every dollar invested in SNAP generates $1.80 in economic activity. Yeah. It's not about the money. Trump just wants Americans to go hungry. It's like, is that just like on purpose retarded?
Yeah.
Trump wants to starve you.
And so, you know, obviously, like, there is some truth to money amplifies. You know, every dollar here gets amplified because then the storekeeper spends it somewhere. But when we're talking about SNAP and remittances and stealing from America, a lot of it's leaving the country. And then this is just government spending. This is like, that dollar would have been better off in my hands, not some idiot who can't afford their food, right?
And then like people do think like, oh, the government gives them the money, but it's our money that the government is giving them. So we can't forget that. And then the thought process here is we got to give them our money so they can spend it to grow the economy.
Well, and then
that's what I don't get. I'll spend it to grow the economy. I spend all my money.
I was going to. I was on my way. And then these are the same people who will argue that like Biden's spending, and all government spending is inflationary, right? Like that's the definition. Whenever the government spends a lot of money, inflation goes up. And these are the same type of people who would argue that like what Biden was spending didn't cause the inflation, right? Mm-hmm. So it's they'll use it conveniently when it's for giving food to retarded people, and then they'll use it the other way when they're blamed for all the inflation, right?
Yep, and then Liquidity had a good point here.
Yeah, Tim, hear me out. It's time to think bigger. Why don't we simply print 100 trillion new dollars and invest it into SNAP to generate 180 trillion in economic activity and pay down the U.S. government debt? If only the world worked like that, Tim. And if only people believed you, right?
Mm-hmm. Good point. And then a lot of people who support the EBT and SNAP programs do that because they believe you can only get wealthy by exploiting people. There was like this survey that went out, and young people, majority of young people, 18 to 29, 52%, believe that you can only become wealthy by exploitation of others.
Yeah, young Americans believe wealth comes from exploitation. Older Americans believe wealth is earned. And you can see it, and like you said, 18 to 29 is the highest. And 65 plus, only 27% believe that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is purely a demographics opinion thing again. Mm-hmm. Because as demographics change, we get all these third worlders who have some weird leftist beliefs, and they're educated and indoctrinated into that, and nobody thinks you can make it anymore. So
that graph is probably the same graph as like the decline of the white population.
I know.
You're absolutely right.
Totally.
And then I saw this graphic I thought was pretty interesting. It says, you're not better than someone on welfare. You're just luckier. As if it's like,
yeah,
you're poor.
Coin toss. You're brown and poor. Good luck.
Yeah, and it's obviously a matter, like the whole world is like a matter of how smart you are and how industrious you are. And there is an IQ point to be made. And I want to make this point too before we get into that. Thomas Sowell, I found a good Thomas Sowell quote. He said, "You can't subsidize people into competence."
Yeah.
Which I think is a great point. And we have an IQ point here from HoMath.
Well, before we get into the IQ thing, which is totally valid, you are not better than someone on welfare, just luckier, right? And like there are degrees to everything. And a lot of the stuff, we've always hedged our talking points on SNAP and EBT about like someone who loses their job should have a social safety net. Someone who has paid taxes for their entire life and then has like a bad 6 months should be getting it. And that person is much more valuable than a lifelong leech rat, you know? So there's degrees to everything. And then, yeah, you are better than someone who's on welfare, just temporarily too, till they get back on their feet, right?
Better at making money.
And then someone who got their job wiped away from globalism because Pennsylvania doesn't make steel anymore. Yeah, that guy's better than the lifelong leech. There's degrees to everything, right?
Very true.
So that graphic, they try to make everybody's a blank slate. It could happen to you. You're really close to homelessness. It's like, no, I'm not, because I have safety, I have a family, I have an emergency fund, I have this. And if a bunch of things went wrong for me, maybe I could end up homeless. But I'm a really, really long way away.
You could live at my house.
Thank you. See? Friends and family. And then what does that mean? It means I'm a trustworthy, I'm not a nuisance, I'm not a rat.
You're not going to steal my microwave to buy crack.
The copper is safe in the walls, you know? I'm not a scumbag. Yeah. All right, so let's get to this.
No one in your family shits on the ground?
Yeah, nobody does. Maybe some toddlers. Maybe some toddlers in my family. This IQ thing, you know, a lot of this comes down to IQ, and then the more you import the bad IQ people, the worse it gets. Below 90 IQ, the word looks like a free buffet. All the stuff is just there. So if you don't have very much stuff, it looks like you're banned from the free buffet unfairly. Below 90 IQ, people cannot connect work to wealth. They cannot understand that wealth is just what happens when you work intelligently. To a 90 IQ, if you have wealth and he does not, then you must have taken it away from him. This explains reparations and other forms of handout grabbing. 90 is near the far left of the meets expectations section. It's in reference to like a bell curve chart.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good point. And then when it comes to IQ, we can also extrapolate that to crime and poverty. You can make that argument as well. There's someone, a leftist type girl, who's trying to say that's not true, but there's a rebuttal I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a typical like sociologist here. She goes, sociologist that studied criminology here, and poverty is indeed the main driver of crime. People steal, rob, sell drugs, etc., because they need to survive. One of the most simple things a society can do to lessen crime is provide a basic standard of living / universal basic income.
Very true. Well, not true, but very much a leftist take.
That's the worldview. We know that worldview, right? And then Zero HP Lovecraft said, white racists that studied the internet here and feral blacks and browns are indeed the main driver of crime. People steal, rob, sell drugs, etc. because they evolved in warm climates without cold winters and never developed future-oriented thinking.
That's an interesting point.
That's the extreme end. That's the extreme end of things. Totally.
I never thought about the winter, and I guess
storing for the winter.
Yeah, planning ahead.
Even squirrels plan ahead.
Starting to get a little chilly.
Yeah.
And we have some more points here.
This DEI for white guys said, so your theory is that being poor makes people have low IQ, low impulse control, and a propensity towards violence and criminality. My theory is that being low IQ and low impulse control makes people have a propensity towards violence, criminality, and being poor. It's largely biological, affecting different groups differently because we're biologically different.
And that makes more sense to me. It's not like, oh, you're poor and that's why you're doing crime and you're stupid. It's like, no, you're stupid and that's why you're doing crime and you're poor.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have the proof here. There's a table where basically...
We've shown this before on the show.
Yeah, we've talked about this. The poorest white people still commit less crime than the richest black people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right.
Biological differences, I would say.
And then when you import people from Somalia, what do you think, it gets better or worse?
Gets way worse.
It's really easy.
Yeah.
And then Mimetic Sisyphus had a good point. This is about free childcare. The first tweet is, it's a huge bummer that free childcare is pretty unpopular.
Yeah, and this is just like a poll going through net support, abolish the police, minus 64%. And then free childcare obviously had a negative 16%, which is closer. But this is the mindset, right? Which Mimetic Sisyphus points out. He said, what does free mean? One group sees free and gets excited. They should be. For them, it will be free. The other group understands they'll be paying for the first group's free stuff. They're usually less excited.
Duh.
That's the whole point of this. Taxes, whatever, SNAP, EBT, it's not free versus, I either get it or I don't, or it's free or not. It's all a redistribution of wealth based on net taxpayers versus not net taxpayers. And yeah, I'm not excited for paying for childcare for someone who can't control themselves and has 6 kids.
Right?
Right? It's easy.
We're group 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a Trump Snap update. It's something I wasn't happy about, but who knows what's going to happen. Maybe there will be some adjustments. But as of a couple days ago, Donald Trump says Snap benefits will be solved for November.
And that was kind of like a comment made on Air Force One, like, yeah, I think we're going to solve it type thing. I don't care if it gets solved. I don't care if the government stays shut down. And yeah, it negatively affects a few other things, but I really want to see Snap break. We need a test. We need a control test. And, we're going to talk about this a little later in the episode, but Trump, when he said non-citizens in the U.S. are now losing access to Snap, I think a big measure of how successful a president or a leader is, a political leader in any sense, is how responsive they are to what their base wants. And I think the last week or so has shown that there's a huge resounding hate and desire to change or streamline or make Snap better. And one thing you can do is kick illegals off completely. And it's a big gauge of whether or not it's going to be a successful presidency or successful leadership is how much you respond to what your base wants. Because
how much do you watch the show?
Yeah, how much do you watch the show? How much do you see what we're complaining about? How much do you see the same injustices we see? And because I've said this before on the show, governments or politics in general is like a big game of whack-a-mole. You see a problem, and then you whack-a-mole. Problem pops up, whack it. This comes up, whack it. And a few big examples of that are like how bad Snap is getting abused recently. Foreign truck drivers on our roads. These things should be whack-a-moled off, and how quick you respond as a government is like a huge indictment of how good you're going to be, right? It's a huge representation of how good you're going to be. So I hope we're playing whack-a-mole correctly, right?
It makes it fun when the president listens.
Exactly.
All right, our final clip from our EBT section. This is a clip that we're going to use to express our views, both of our views.
I haven't seen this.
Rap Boy hasn't seen it, but this is a way to outsource how we want to express our views, but we can't actually say the exact thing she's saying.
Watching all of these niggers lose their EBT is hilarious. Nobody told these women to have multiple kids with multiple niggers. And I also love how they're all saying that they're going to commit a crime on camera. Shit, I'm gonna walk out with my shit and I ain't paying nothing. Y'all took my EBT. Okay, Shaniqua. You wouldn't have to steal if you were a productive person in society. And we all know niggas do not fit that description. I think we should keep taking all of their benefits until they get up on their fucking feet and stop depending on people to raise their niglet. EBT and all these benefits are enabling and making these people even more entitled. You can see in the...
She makes some fair points.
Hard R. That takes something from her. You know, girl like that saying hard R.
She's got a good dad.
I would say so.
I would guess.
Are you gonna bleep any of that? Is that okay?
We're gonna bleep the hard R's.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, but saying
Get me a little nervous.
This is how we feel about it.
Yeah.
And then you play it, and it's just hard R, hard R, hard R. But you know, there is a thing. We talk about EBT. We post it to social media. We talk about it on the show, obviously. And on my Instagram, a lot of people who don't understand per capita will say, oh, white people do it more than black people, even though it's like pretty close. Yeah. And they don't understand per capita. But then there's a lot of black people who come in and go, nah, you're right. They've been living off this for generations. This is a problem. People need to go get a job.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a pure race thing. Blacks are on one side, whites are on the other. It's like normal people are on one side, black and white, and then stupid people, black and white, are on the other. And then don't forget Hispanics.
They're deep.
I think it's 14 million white people on Snap EBT or Snap, and I think it's 10 million blacks, and then I think it's 10 million Hispanics.
They're right there.
They sneak by. Oh, no problem.
Their murder rates are similar too, or like they're right up there. You know what I mean?
They're tiptoeing around.
They're lucky black people are around,
but they're less obnoxious about it.
Totally.
Like they probably go buy rice and beans.
And they do more.
Black people go buy lobster on Amazon.
They do more of the selling it on the street though too.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is industrious, but
we'll dig into that. Yeah. All right, we're now heading to our migrant section. First things first, we have some good news out of Florida. DeSantis is about to abolish H-1Bs at colleges.
I am directing today the Florida Board of Governors to pull the plug on the use of these H-1B visas in our universities. We can do it with our residents in Florida or with Americans. And if we can't do it, then, man, we need to really look deeply about what is going on with this situation.
Good. That's a nice little win.
And that's a great example of government responsiveness. DeSantis, he listens.
I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter a lot.
Literally. I saw a pickleball coach was an H-1B. That's like exactly government responsiveness, and he's a great leader for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron DeSantis.
Thank you, Rob DeSantis.
And he's beating Trump on the H-1B issue right now.
That's real.
You're smoking Trump, Ron.
Trump?
Hear that? Stephen Miller?
Tell Trump he's losing to DeSantis on something.
Yeah.
All right, next we have an illegal who was arrested by ICE, but listen to how the media tells you about it.
Yeah, the NBC Bay Area goes, federal agents arrested an undocumented father at his home in San Jose while he was on his way to work, his family said Saturday.
Yeah, and so the undocumented father, make it like a sob story. Here's what he was being arrested for. Lewd acts with a child, battery of a spouse, domestic battery, compensation for a prostitute, felony reentry after removal. So it looks like there was some documentation on it.
I would say so. Undocumented except for his rap sheet, which was quite lengthy.
Yeah.
There's a document somewhere, but he just doesn't have the right documents, right?
Yeah, but he needs to pick strawberries or something.
Something.
But you see how it works media-wise? Like, the people on the left will only see that.
Yeah.
And they'll go, damn, ICE arrested undocumented father going to work. And the people on the right will see mostly both sides of the media. We'll know that guy was had all these issues and a huge rap sheet, and we see how the left covers it.
Yeah.
So like the left's living in like a one world reality like this, and the right's kind of like observing both sides and then determining their own reality.
So, and then it's so funny you say that because there's another leg to the left of this where they only see that headline, and then they see a leftist commentator talk about it, and they say, ICE is the Gestapo and they're kidnapping fathers. So then it gets like extreme that way.
Yeah.
So they never know the truth, and then they get more extreme that way.
It's like a pressure cooker.
Yeah. And then start loading a gun or something. I don't know what they do.
I don't know what they do. But we need to let all these illegals in here because we have celebrities and stupid people on the news who tell us so. Here's Richard Gere on a boat.
And everyone is doing okay now. They were on two boats in the middle of the ocean. One of the boats was turned back and taken by the Libyan Navy. We don't know what happened to them. The two boats that were rescued here, probably all hands on board would have been lost. So the people that you see here on this boat, they're only here because of the donations to Open Arms, to the work that Open Arms does. And now for the most important thing for these people here is to be able to get to a free port, be able to get off the boat, get on land, and start a new life, be taken care of, and make a life for themselves. So please support us here.
Yeah, so fuck these people.
And this was an older video?
Yeah.
This was from 2021. And so how many of these guys have committed crimes on European soil since this video?
Look at this one guy. I found the screenshot. What do we need this guy for? What does anyone need this guy for?
Nothing.
And they want to start a new life, and they're fleeing these war zones. Okay, where's their family?
Yeah.
If you're fleeing a war zone, where's the women and children? You left them in the war zone?
Yeah. They're fighting. Pick up a Kalashnikov, lady.
Yeah.
I'm going to Paris.
I'm starting a new life.
And the new life, believe it or not, I'm going to sexually harass people and pickpocket.
Yeah, that's the new life. And then, like, what countries would want these people? Nobody voted for that. But we got to listen to Richard Gere because he was in Nights in Rodanthe
with Diane Lane. Yeah,
we got to listen to a little bit.
Yeah,
he makes a good point. He was in Nights in Rodanthe.
That earns you a sit down.
Yeah, that movie your mom watched. Yeah. The movie your mom watched, and he has a $10 million house in New Canaan, Connecticut.
Yeah,
but
that could be a new life.
Telling the Western countries they need to bring in these brain dead people from the Horn of Africa. You got to listen to him. Yeah, because he was in a stupid movie.
The Libyan Navy should shoot those boats.
Yeah.
Like literally.
And everyone gets mad when you shoot the boats, like with the Venezuelan drug dealers too.
Sends a message.
It sends a message. How many more boats come when the last one got blown up and sank? No one comes.
Yep.
But we can't promote violence, and you don't mean to kill innocent people.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Very nice. And we do have some changes. There's been ICE leadership changes, and it's going to revamp the whole deportation process. Can you play this clip, please?
Move spearheaded by Corey Lewandowski, and it's all in an effort to boost deportation numbers, which are already at more than 500,000 since President Trump took office. So here's what we're talking about. Some of the ICE leadership positions being removed are the heads of ICE here in Los Angeles, in San Diego, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Seattle, El Paso, New Orleans, and Denver, just to name some of them. I'm told some of their replacements will be Border Patrol officials, hand-selected by Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino, whose aggressive and sometimes controversial tactics to arrest illegal aliens have elevated him within the Trump administration. Now, this is significant because Border Patrol and ICE do very different things, and we've embedded with both agencies multiple times. When we're with ICE, they are typically doing targeted enforcement of criminal illegal aliens, always knowing who they are arresting beforehand and often doing hours of surveillance to try and learn the target's schedule. Now, Border Patrol has been much more aggressive. They conduct roving patrols and raids at places like Home Depot, car washes, and flea markets, pretty much arresting.
I like Greg Bavino.
I like roaming patrols instead of targeted and hours of surveillance.
We're gonna watch some Spanish, watch some 5'6" Spanish guy. He goes and gets the ice with this pepper stuff on it.
Where's he at, boss? He's at the taqueria again.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting pineapple, and they put the chili powder on it. Yeah. You can write that down.
Yeah, I better write it down.
And then the roving patrols, and then Greg Bavino. If you're a show watcher, please shoot me a message, and we will send you a shirt or something.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good shakeup. I mean, you heard the numbers. Trump has deported 500,000 people so far. Another 1.5 million have self-deported during that time. And we need more. We need higher numbers. This is one of those things where, again, going back to the theme of government responsiveness, we want more, we want faster. I understand that ICE is doing the targeted things, but we need broad strokes. And we need more targeting of employers, too. We need to target employers.
All right. That's the end of our migrant section. We're now moving on to our final page of housekeeping where I can say whatever I want. Use the opportunity to go to the post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping. P.O. Box, notifications, old episodes can be watched. And we do have a nice little announcement. We are doing a big Q&A on Wednesday's Bonus Land. So next week we have a nice Q&A coming. We're gonna go long with it.
Normal Bonus Land.
Normal Bonus Land tomorrow on Saturday.
Q&A comes later.
Bonus long Q&A next week.
Okay.
All right. First things first. This guy fights somebody, and there's a little hint as to what's going to happen.
Oh! Let's go. Ready? Night,
So whenever someone's about to fight you and they record the fight, it's probably a red flag.
Yeah, step down.
Not
Step
good.
down. It's a pretty brutal knockout. Can we get away with that?
Yeah, I think so. The guy is okay.
I'll take your word for it.
The guy's fine. He messaged us that we can use the clip, and it was actually a parody.
Oh,
that
great.
was satire.
Okay, great.
So that guy is okay.
Great.
Next, they're making new robots, and there's some interesting angles here. They're making these new little household robots that like help you in your home, but wait till you figure out who is actually controlling them.
My name is Bernd, and today we're launching Neo, our humanoid for the home.
Neo. And they got some copyright music, so we're going to have to go to B-roll only. But nice Scandinavian tech CEO founder guy. You
That's
go, okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. This is
futuristic.
This is what I see in most sci-fi movies, the weird Scandinavian.
Amazon movie type thing. And then we have in the background He does stuff around your house. He brings the groceries in.
Little chores is what this guy's up to for the most part.
Little chores.
And then he hangs out in the corner waiting to be summoned, right?
And he carries stuff. He throws the trash away. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then in our next clip, we're going to show you an interesting aspect. Listen to what they say about who controls him.
Just one little catch. There may be a human behind the curtain, pulling the robot's strings. If I throw up, will the robot throw up? A company representative may need to peer into your house via Neo's camera eyes to get things done. To many people, this is crazy.
You have to be okay with this.
So it's interesting. There might be times where a person from far away, probably from India?
Cheap, whatever's cheap.
Has to go take the robot over to do the chores. So you're going to have some Indian abroad call center style slave laborer taking your groceries in and out of your house from Mumbai.
And then you see the robot turn around and check out your wife's ass.
Yeah.
And it's just an Indian guy looking at your wife's ass.
And I know what we're all thinking.
What?
Is some guy in India going to be wiping your ass?
Yeah, we were all thinking that.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. So the robot, you're interested in an ass wiping robot.
I'm assuming the whole point is it does stuff that
you don't want to do.
You don't want to do, or that's inconvenient.
Yeah.
You can go on your phone the whole time.
Smart.
And then the robot wipes your ass.
All right. And then this, obviously, remember when Amazon had those retail stores, Amazon Go, where you walked in and it just had sensors, so it knew what to charge you for what you took. And then it turned out Amazon's just walk out technology relies on hundreds of workers in India watching you shop. So pretty much the same thing here.
Yeah.
So we're not as futuristic as we think.
There's a meme, AI, artificial intelligence. No, AI, an Indian.
An Indian, yeah.
And that's what it is. And then they're going to probably send all your data to Palantir to make sure no one's being anti-Semitic. And then they're going to watch your wife change, like you said.
Yeah. Indian guy's going to, you see the robot, he keeps turning around and he's looking down your wife's shirt, going crazy.
You need help?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actual slave labor in India. Very interesting.
And then that was something I think Elon, too, is doing those robots, right? Where he had that robot event. But he had people controlling those, too. So we're close, but we're not that close.
We're trying to make it appear like we're close.
And they're trying to get you to get the robot into the house. Come on, just let him in your house. And this is, I think, $500 a month to get the robot just to take the trash out.
Just to wipe your ass.
Use your legs just to wipe your ass. You keep bringing that up. You really want him to wipe your ass, huh?
And we're working on a Fleckus bot.
Yeah.
The Fleckus version. Here's what that would look like.
And we got RRB working on the Fleckus bot.
Yeah. It's just working on the puking and the yelling.
So who wipes his ass?
I don't know.
Well, we'll figure that out soon.
Not good.
But yeah, it's interesting. We're kind of at this the cusp of a new future where robots, but then an Indian guy somehow involved. There's always an Indian guy involved.
They'll do it for $1.
And imagine an Indian truck driver driving a bunch of these guys somewhere. There's Indians involved everywhere.
You bring an Indian into your house.
Yeah.
They sneak around.
Not good.
All right, let's get to our next piece of the final page of housekeeping. The humpback whale is doing Fibonacci codes. So this is a humpback whale caught on camera, and look at the bubbles they're releasing. Isn't that pretty interesting?
He's hunting. He's trying to hunt.
I think he's trying to tell us something. I think he knows there's a drone there, and I think
it says hunting. Natural tactic that kind of confuses their prey or something. Don't they eat the small plankton and stuff? And
they create a wall and they surround it.
Yeah.
But they're trying to tell us something as well. Secrets of the universe type shit. Fibonacci. You guys know Fibonacci.
Yeah, but that's not even full Fibonacci. Fibonacci goes like crazy, right? It's just a regular spiral.
I think it's Fibonacci.
All right.
Whales know Fibonacci.
Okay. All right.
All right, and our final clip of the final page of housekeeping. This is probably Rat Boy's favorite. We were talking before the show.
Yeah,
we had to take some stuff out.
I actually like this one.
This is, I think it's real. They caught a griffin on camera. And you can tell it's a griffin because it's a lion body, but he has the wings and kind of a bird face. And that's probably rare to catch on camera.
Yeah, that was whoever caught that on camera, that was a good catch.
Probably no one's going to believe me. Mm-hmm. Some people will.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip of Cringe of the Week. We have a guy who went to a protest, and instead of talking to people, he just talked some shit.
Stupid! Look at those eyes! SSRI eyes! How many SSRIs are you on, bitch? How many SSRIs are you on, bitch?
Relax.
All of them.
Relax,
All of
bro.
them.
How many kitties did you sniff?
Oh, you're the pedophile.
You're the
pedophile.
fucking pedophile.
Look at you. You
You're
look
the
like
pedophile.
you got a fucking Care Bear shirt on.
my
You got a Care Bear shirt on. You're a fucking child predator.
Yeah, you're fucking.
You're a child predator. Go brush your teeth. Go fix your teeth. Go fix your teeth. Go fix your fucking teeth.
No, you wanna
go fix your teeth, stinky bitch.
You fix your.
Go fucking.
Pretty good action.
I like this now.
Yeah.
Like there's post Charlie Kirk world, and you come in and you just call him a stinky pedophile, and you have SSRI eyes.
You could tell that one hit close to home for the girl because she's probably on SSRIs.
For sure.
She immediately was like, ugh.
Clocked
And these
me.
are the people who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk and celebrate violence, and they think they have like a better idea of how the country should run, and they don't even know how to run themselves.
Yeah.
So there's like a thing where instead of going there to have a conversation and debate ideas, like they killed the guy who was doing that, you can kind of go there and just talk shit and make fun of these retards.
And then that's not how they started, obviously. These guys kind of came in with like abortion is murder type, like challenge me. And then people got in their face. The type of people who would get in their face got in their face.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not time to reason with them. You're not going to switch their opinions. Get a funny clip.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like to see it. We have another example here, a similar thing, another protest. And listen to what this guy says for why the white guy shouldn't be there.
You don't deserve to be here. You do not deserve to be here, bro. You're white men. Do you know? You're white men talking about women's issues.
Why does our skin color matter?
Your skin color allows you certain things that it does not allow me. You're not gonna invalidate me as a black man.
I'm not
I am literally
invalidating you.
emasculated every f***ing day. Do not invalidate me, bro. Stop. You
I'm
cannot
not
come
inval-
to a you
and
cannot
that-
come to a park like this where it's for
You're
misfits.
invalidating
It's
me
for-
by
no,
saying
you're-
that.
Oh, so you're the victim, right? So
If
you're the victim.
kicking me out of the park.
Yeah,
yes.
you don't deserve to be here. You do not deserve to be here, bro. You do not deserve to be here with these opinions.
No,
You see how they talk to me first? You see how they talk to me first?
You're yelling. You're yelling. If you wasn't yelling, if you was talking normal and calm, they wouldn't come at you first. They would come and say, what's the problem?
The guy at the end sorts it out.
Oh, gee.
If you were calm, they wouldn't come to you first. But that guy, the only language he understands, the only currency in his world is like who's the victim and who's not.
Yeah, and that's the mindset with a lot of these people. He goes, you see how he goes, so you're the victim? He had to hang on to his victimhood.
I'm the victim. You think you're the victim?
Exactly. And a guy like this, this was again about some sort of women's issue, probably abortion, right? That these guys are looking. And then you get manic, and then you're not here to argue about the issues. You're here to bring all your outside stuff in. You know, these guys, these angry street interview types, they never talk about, well, here's my opinion, here's your opinion, and let's have a peaceful discussion, right? They start bringing in their baggage.
Yeah.
I'm black. These are women's issues. I'm emasculated every day. The guy brings them in to an argument like luggage. He's got his backpack, a duffel bag, and 2 roller bags that he comes into the argument with, and he goes, I'm here to argue now.
You're white. You have privilege. I'm black. And it's like, how can I disqualify your side without addressing your issues and then your points and the debating points you made? How do I disqualify that from other stuff that's outside of the actual debate itself?
Yeah, it's all about how much extra stuff I can bring in that's off topic to derail you, right?
It's pretty good.
And then to let that get you so angry. Some people are like, you know how often I walk past something and I just roll my eyes or go, I turn to you and go, fucking retard, right? Yeah. You know, there's people to go like, ah, and the police officer's telling you to calm down because you couldn't bring your baggage into the abortion argument, right?
Not good.
Crazy.
All right, our next clip, this is kind of Snap EBT related, but listen to what this guy thinks as to why everyone cares who's white.
You know why so many racist white people are okay with SNAP benefits being removed from everybody in the United States of America, and they sit here and act like they're not the largest recipients of SNAP benefits in this country? You know why white people don't care? Because they're used to eating people. Specifically us. They love the taste of our melanin. cannibalism.
So you know the Haitian cannibals used to always hear about? It was actually the French.
And Maori, too. Maori cannibals.
The French.
My favorite thing about a guy like this is not the schizo theory that white people are somehow eating black people like it's a Jordan Peele movie that's releasing in December 2027.
That's probably where he saw it.
But the whole spelling it out thing, it's like because they eat us, they love our melanin. Cannibalism. Like he has to say cannibalism because he's got an audience of fucking retarded people, right?
That's a good point.
So you do have to spell it out sometimes.
And he missed per capita.
Yeah, of course.
Easily missed per capita. More white people on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our next.
I acknowledge there's more white people on EBT and Snap, absolute value-wise. And I still want to get rid of it. So does that negate my racism then?
That's a good point.
Because I still want it gone, after learning that. It's not like you surprised me with that fact. I knew it. I still know about per capita, and I still want it gone or at least overhauled incredibly hard, right?
That's a good point. And before we move on,
I want to eat you. I'm going to fucking eat you.
Just like we've been doing forever.
I'm a cannibal. And you were right.
Yeah, you caught us. You look at Richard's freezer.
Yeah.
You
don't want to see
missing
it.
people.
It's only black people.
Missing black people in the freezer. And then there was a tweet that I saw that I thought we could put in here and make some decent points.
People from the hood aren't tough. They grew up with mostly free housing, mostly free food, free medical care, free school, and endless excuses for their failures. They are the most coddled and cared for pieces of shit in human history. Their neighborhoods suck because they suck. They have all life's necessities handed to them and do nothing but fuck up all day long. They're not American. They're not us. They can never be us. And that is why they hate us.
It's a little bit of a harsh message.
Some guys got some racial hangups in there for sure. But that point is true. That they derive their toughness from other ways, like threatening to kill someone or drug dealing or something. But like having all your staples provided for.
Life's so hard. Rent is free. Food is free. No one has to work.
The struggle is mostly about buying Jordans, not putting food on the table, right?
Or like violence that happens to you from other black people. It's like, oh man, you don't get the struggle. There was a drive-by. I got robbed in my car. My mama got shot. And it's like, was it the cops?
Let me count those things. Yeah, the police. Police are actually the biggest gang. They'll say something like that.
All right, let's move on to our next story. Don Lemon made some interesting insults about Megyn Kelly here.
Is Megyn Kelly chopped?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what is chopped. I've heard it, but I don't know what that means. What does chopped mean?
She's gonna get mad at me, dude. I don't know if I want this heat.
What does chopped mean?
Chopped means like not hot.
Yeah, she's chopped. I don't know, the whole MAGA look.
It's all the MAGA ladies.
Too much.
Kind of looks like a Barbie doll covered in like WD-40.
I think she looks trans.
Let's end on that note.
She looks clockable.
Yeah, so Don Lemon, a literal gay guy, doesn't think Megyn Kelly's hot. Okay.
Yeah, we're taking your word for it.
Yeah, and Don Lemon also said that Michelle Obama is better looking than Melania Trump. Don't forget that.
Why is someone weighing in on something that they have no expertise in?
Well, I think I know why he thinks Michelle Obama is better looking than Melania.
Ooh.
Because Michelle's Mike.
Masculine.
And it's like, oh yeah, I like this dude over this model.
That makes sense. But I mean, the big takeaway here is the left in general, like those two little podcast twinks, they got away from that quick because they know who butters their bread. But Don Lemon and the left in general, they go back to like trans as an insult.
Yeah.
And then I've seen it a lot. We have another example coming up, but like gay and trans as an insult when it fits their prerogative, right?
Yeah, because no one wants to look like they're trans because that would be retarded.
That's horrible, right, Don Lemon? I totally agree with you. That's based, Don Lemon.
That's a horrible insult to be trans.
But
right?
You can only use it against right-wingers. And then here's another example. This was on Speaker Johnson doing some sort of video. And the Lincoln Project, he said, I'm tired. I'm up all night. He's working on the government shutdown. So he's saying he's tired. And then the Lincoln Project comments and says, up all night on Grindr, no doubt. So Mike Johnson's secretly gay. And then spending time on Grindr is horrible, because obviously it is, because that's a miserable life with no purpose and meaningless hookups with probable STDs. Thank you, the Lincoln Project.
Yeah, same
Looking
page.
trans is bad. It looks like shit. And gay people on Grindr are wasting their lives away. Thank you for coming to our side.
Yeah.
we appreciate it,
It's
right?
good to agree on that stuff.
Their morals go out the window when they want to insult someone.
They never actually believe it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like an opportunity to get us in trouble if we make those jokes.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But when it's their chance to do it, they can do it because they're not going to enforce the law against themselves.
Yeah. Any piece of shit they can sling, they'll pick up and throw.
Very interesting.
I agree, Don Lemon. Trans people are hideous.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don. All right. We're on our next page of Cringe. This is the story we mentioned in the intro. The Barstool Girls podcast is biting the hand that feeds them.
I actually was not saying Jersey. I was just saying in terms of this office, like if they were to do it in the same place, just a more condensed, homier version with less top lighting, harsh top lighting.
Yeah, a lot of harsh top. I wouldn't mind a skylight.
More regulated AC. Where would you want to condense?
Regulated AC.
Like where, like paint me your vision. Like who do you want? What do we want combined?
It's just
one big square.
He's been talking to the finance guys to find property, is what he said.
Oh, so he's serious about this.
Yeah, but I also do know that the lease on this building is not up for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I would like somewhere that isn't an icebox all the time.
Totally.
I
like
like somewhere
natural light.
Where natural light.
And can I say something else? For a media company, it would be really nice to have a room you could record in with lighting. And I know that sounds really crazy for a media company, but I do think that would be really nice.
I also think it's so crazy to ask for this from a media company, but having like Wi-Fi
literally
in the office would be so lit.
Yeah, or maybe like one soundproof room. So
Yes.
whenever like a particularly angry Mets fan gets particularly angry,
And maybe that room's padded.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I wouldn't
Padded
mind.
and soundproof.
Maybe it has a lock from the outside.
And I wouldn't mind. I don't know if this is just like a KFC radio thing. It would be so lit if we had working microphones for a podcast.
No, babe, that's crazy.
I know, it's kind of crazy. You think, for a podcast company, there would be one that works.
Oh, too much vocal fry.
Yeah.
First of all.
I don't want to personally attack anybody, but I definitely couldn't listen to that personally.
Yeah, and especially if it's a men's gambling sports network. Don't know why anyone would listen to a bunch of girls yapping with no plan.
That's the suspicion I have, is not much written down before they come into the podcast. No notes. But
I think they can just yap.
They were basically talking about how their dream office, they're possibly moving, and they're talking about changes they would make. And they kind of did some jabs at some coworkers, and then were kind of like doing the eye roll, like, wow, it'd be nice if things worked and we had top lighting and all this shit, right?
Yeah, and keep in mind, these people make no money for the company.
Mhm.
Here's a list of their views. Can you go over some views from their Fishbowl channel?
It's under 1,000 for everyone. 533 views 11 months ago. And these are just some clips, right? But why your 30s are the best years of your life, 664 views. Some bad views for a podcast,
They're
right?
basically the WNBA of Barstool. Like, they're subsidized. They're kind of like DEI hires.
Yeah.
And then they're still complaining. And maybe it's my male mindset. If I worked at Barstool and was receiving a salary and made no money, I would be the first one in and the last one out. I would be in grind mode. I'd keep my head down. I'd be positive all the time. Hey, I'm getting a coffee. Anyone want a coffee? I'll do a whole coffee run for the whole floor.
Great show yesterday, boss. That was awesome. You need me to charge these batteries so the camera's ready next time?
All the grunt work I would do. I would be in absolute grind mode, keep my head down, overly positive, trying to help wherever I could. I'd watch all the content.
Yeah.
I try to be like pleasant and very, very positive. No problems. And these people just don't know how to act.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of these girls have followings elsewhere and like big TikToks or something. But man, that little ungratefulness. Here's, should we read the Dave Portnoy tweet?
Yeah.
He goes, it would be crazy for a media company to have employees who haven't made a cent for the company in their entire careers just shut up and thank their lucky stars they still have a paycheck.
That's the big takeaway.
Yeah.
Because they talk shit about the company that pays them on their podcast that no one watches.
Crazy.
It's like crazy ironic. And the girl in the devil costume, she was getting texted by one of the other girls, and they were kind of like, yo, I don't think we should be having this conversation. And she's like texting and on her phone during
Shut
the
your
podcast.
mouth. Don't say shit.
And she's just, so like they knew that something was up. But
that's a weird thing that happens too, like when the women invade the male-only space. And not invade. Obviously, Barstool probably wanted to reach out. They want to reach women or something. I'm not going to pretend to know their whole business. But the women get together and then go, how about we we change the whole thing? How about we change what made this company from Dave Portnoy delivering papers in Boston somewhere 10 years ago to now? Let's change it to what women do.
Oh, like, are you guys like getting all the views and taking it in a new direction? No, we get no views and make no money. And Dave basically threw shit against the wall to see what stuck, and it didn't stick. And now he's just paying shit on the floor.
Yeah, and the contract goes for 2 years, and there's shit on the floor. And the robot's not picking it up.
Not good.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And we're not roasting anybody.
It's interesting. We kind of are, but I mean, it's interesting to see people in the podcast business, because we are a podcast and we scrap and fight and have grown for our viewers. And then for some people to just so flippantly be on a payroll and on a salary. There's no such thing as a podcast company 8 years ago. You know what I mean? So
there's no such thing as a podcast that doesn't get views.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like you have like this.
You would quit this. You would quit this if you weren't getting a paycheck, right? So,
and there's something to be said about like this. It's not even a business model.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, and the business model is these 3 shows make all the money, and then we have 20 other shows that go to fucking zero. Yeah. It's like, well, let's just keep the 3 shows and keep 5 maybe of some potential.
Yeah.
And leave everyone else in the dust. Mm-hmm. So not grateful. And that's the whole reason we called them out. We're not here to start fights with people and start fights with Barstool. But to do that, it's like you have no self-awareness and you just have like a really stupid mindset.
Yeah.
So that's that. All right, well, that's the end of Cringe. We're now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, Urban Decay is a little lighter today, a little lighter than usual. But we do have a repeat offender, believe it or not, Wellington Dickens.
That sounds like a kind of guy who would be in a novel from 1892.
Yeah.
And he runs the lighthouse. Wellington Dickens, he puts the lamp out every night for the ships to come in.
Yeah.
But, of course, if he's in Urban Decay, that's not his story. He had been arrested 7 previous times, including for child abuse, and he has just been arrested for murdering his 4 children, age 6, 9, 10, and 18. Their bodies were discovered in his truck this morning.
So sorry for the lightheartedness leading into that.
Yeah, another North Carolina story.
Yeah, and I'm sure he probably was let go for like mental illness, or he's not mentally capable of standing trial and going to jail. So let him back out, and he killed his whole family.
Yep.
And he arrested 7 times before, including for child abuse.
And, you know, I guess that's part of what we're up to here is we have to cover some of the darkest stories that there are to kind of show you what's at stake. Like, yeah, the DUI guy who did another DUI and then he hit someone, like, you can almost, like, rationalize that away to an extent. Like, oh, man, bad luck, you know? But every person in your family gets murdered because the justice system doesn't do its job. That's what we're talking about week in and week out. That's like the worst thing that could happen, right?
Yeah, hurts.
So it's dark.
All right, our next story, 13 suspects robbed a teenager for his sneakers.
Police say the attackers surrounded the teen at an intersection at 160th Street and Hillside Avenue in Jamaica, Queens on Wednesday afternoon. They started arguing, and police say they then kicked and punched the victim. Then someone pulled out a knife and stabbed him several times. Another suspect stole his sneakers.
So he stole his sneakers, and Mamdani probably wants to know, like, what was it about the sneakers? Did they not get sneakers as a kid? Maybe his parents never gave him sneakers for Christmas, and he just wanted some sneakers.
Yeah, his dad only shopped on the clearance rack, and he never got Jordans. Well, never mind. There wasn't a dad. He was raised by a mom and on EBT.
But he did the crime because they're poor and they're from an immigrant family.
Yeah. So more shit out of
New York. Yeah. And those are juveniles, I'm assuming.
Yeah, a pack.
15-year-olds, a pack of 15-year-olds. So you know they're not going to actually get in trouble at all. Mm-hmm. They'll be back on the streets, and a pack. Mm-hmm. They're doing crimes. All right, let's get to our next story. There was an interesting point that was made on Twitter that doesn't really make sense. They were saying that scooters, well, it does make sense, but not in the way they think. Scooters increase crime.
Yeah, we've all seen it. Anybody who lives in a city has seen the proliferation of e-scooters, the electric scooters that you can rent on an app, and they give everyone the gift of mobility. But a study done by the University of Illinois has shown that the introduction of e-scooters coincides with a 17.9% increase in reported crime, which means the actual amount of crime increased much more in that neighborhood. Certainly other quality of life deteriorations like collisions with pedestrians and injuries to the rider also occur. We all know these things are a public nuisance. Now hard data backs it up. And some things from the study here. While e-scooters expanded mobility and generated new economic activity, they also coincided with a 17.9% rise in reported crime, concentrated in street and vehicle-related offenses, such as car break-ins and thefts. So, you know, you got a rented e-scooter, you can pull up and try a car door and see if there's anything in the glove box.
And you get away.
Those types of crimes, you can get to places that you would never otherwise be, right? Like you're on the bad side of the neighborhood, you're a stupid criminal. Oh man, it's only 2 minutes to go. It's only 2 minutes and $3 to get up to the nice part of town and start doing some property crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, we can get into the article a little bit, but that sums it up. And somebody had a tweet and they said, it's like when the Comanches got the horse.
Yeah.
It unleashed a bad side for these urban youths. Yeah. But so, and that's, I guess it's just fascinating because every little action in urban planning or change has this butterfly effect. And we've seen it with the suburban areas not wanting to be connected to downtown with like light rail or new train routes, like the light rail that Irina Zarutska got stabbed on. People are weary of what kind of element that's going to bring. Now, people who sleep on the trains just stumble out and show up at your nice suburban area now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this everyone who kind of does the not in my backyard says, oh, I don't want the light rail. I don't want scooters around here. They're all fucking right.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to have a bad impact on your neighborhood. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And you actually see that a lot too with leftists complaining about cars and how everything's around cars and they want walkable cities and they want the bodega right next to the this and right next to the that. Cars keep fucking riffraff out. Having a car neighborhood and your grocery store's there and you pull up right into your garage, into your driveway. Suburbia was invented as flight from cities and flight from crime. And I think I like it that way.
That's a good point.
You know, everyone's we need walkable cities. Why? So some fucking repeat offender can walk up to my house, knife my daughter? I don't think so. Get rid of the e-scooters, right? Knock a few bucks, son.
Knock a few bucks, son.
All right.
Nailed it. All right, let's move on to our next story. In Dallas, a principal was fired. She was accused of racism because she had a meeting of 100 students, the 100 worst students in the school, and said, you're the reason the school's doing poorly.
They say Woodrow Wilson High School principal Chandra Hooper Barnett called a meeting of African-American students only during advisory period. And according to multiple parents, she told them that they were the reason that the school has a B rating and not an A. Jennifer Bush heard it from her son, a sophomore.
She said that? I was like, that's what they said to you? I was like, I'm calling the school tomorrow.
She's one of many parents to tell me that they called and complained.
I thought it was extremely discriminatory and inflammatory to sit down a bunch of black children and tell them that they're the reason why the school is in a bad light in their eyes.
And today, an email to parents from Woodrow Wilson announcing a new interim principal and acknowledging a, quote, recent incident occurred on our campus that does not reflect the values and expectations of our school community. No mention of Principal Hooper Barnett. But she also wrote an email to parents over the weekend to apologize, writing in part, quote, the decision to hold that meeting and subsequent discussions that transpired was not appropriate. I take full...
So another example of no accountability like we see in the EBT section.
Yeah.
Your kids can't do math or read at grade level, but telling them is racist because they all happen to be black.
Yeah, totally. And
what came first? The low grades? Or did she go around and say, oh, black student over here, you come in here, white student, you go that way?
Yeah. And to be fair, I think this was a stupid meeting because I don't think much can be done.
Yeah.
You already lost the battle. Like, bad students don't turn into good students overnight. So, like, there's no point in talking to them or telling them to work harder. I don't think they're going to make that turnaround. Their parents maybe didn't read to them when they were young enough and didn't stick with it.
Guys, we're going to need your parents to read to you
5 years ago.
11 years ago.
Yeah. No, literally. And this is one of those things. I'm surprised this lady did this because, you know, she's that black, like, principal type. And it's a good case study in the types of racism that are acceptable in America these days. And I delineate that with affirmative racism and then critical racism. Like, affirmative racism is like, you black students, if she brought all the black students into assembly and said, you're going to face disadvantages, and people are going to overlook you. And she said a bunch of racist shit that made them the victim and said, like, you're going to have to work twice as hard as your white friends to get a job. If she did that, nobody would bat an eye. They'd be like, yeah, preach, sister. But if she gets the black kids in and then is critical of them in any way, that's a punishable offense in our current polite society, right?
Even though she's black herself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And has probably the data to back it up. I don't think it was wrong of her. I don't think anybody is talking about how she was dead wrong, just how it was not appropriate. But that critical versus affirmative racism. The affirmative racism you see all the time. You see it in DEI, you see it in
EBT, SNAP.
A lot of different places in America. We've covered it on the show. But where she went wrong is she got critical. You can't get critical.
You can't ask the students to do better for themselves and improve based on like analyzing their bad behavior, because now you're being racist.
Exactly.
Then what's the lesson the kids are learning? It's like anytime you're called out for your bad behavior or you fail, it's because it's racist, not because you have a C- average.
Yeah, it's not because the data is true. It's because of racism.
Even if the teacher's race is black too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, our last clip of Urban Decay, this woman's dropping the baby off.
Got the baby in a child carrier.
And then she's running.
The husband, the baby daddy comes out and chases her with the baby trying to return it. Oh, smashes a window.
Do it again! Do it again! Do it again! Why you
Smashes the window.
Yeah.
And apparently the reason he was so mad was because he was about to do a double shift at NASA.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
And he didn't have a sitter.
That makes sense, okay.
And then she dropped the baby off because she got her EBT and she wanted to go out.
A nail appointment or
Yeah,
something like that?
she wanted to go to get the cash out of the ATM for the EBT and then go to a bar with it.
Okay, now I get it.
So that's... And
Where'd you find that information? Double shift at NASA and EBT opportunity. Where'd you get that information?
I extrapolated some of the data.
Okay, you thought it up.
I'm the source.
Gotcha.
But it is an interesting thing with this clip. Obviously, it's like a hectic situation, but it is more proof that it's not really like the fatherless household issue. Like, oh yeah, it's because the fathers aren't around. All right, if those two people were in a household together, is that baby going to be doing better?
I don't think it would be a functional household, guys.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
All right, well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to uplifting gold, and we have uplifting stuff today. First things first, beef pumpkins. So you see that beef pumpkin? And we can play it at 2x speed. We'll fast forward through here. He's adding the onions. He's adding the pepper. He's closing the top. He's cooking it. Here's where it gets interesting.
Okay. Frozen. He froze the beef, and that's how it retained its shape. But it gets that beef water in there.
Beef water. And then here comes the cheese. He makes it like a pumpkin.
Oh.
Did you know you could do this?
I knew you could freeze beef and then grill it in a certain form. Yeah, I knew about
But you didn't know about beef pumpkin.
No, first time seeing beef pumpkin for sure.
Now let's fast forward to the end result.
All that water in it has me worried.
Juicy.
Uh-huh.
And what is he going to do? Put it on a bun? Well, let's see him cut it in half.
Yeah, that juice
that's a
ruins
problem.
it.
No,
the juice ruins it.
Yeah. Well,
not bad. But you see the bottom bun soggy at the end.
You almost need a new bottom bun.
Yeah, new bottom bun. There.
But beef pumpkin. I never heard anything like that.
I know. There you go. We learn something new every day.
All right, next clip. You know how everyone says like donkey is a jackass?
Mm-hmm.
And then like it's like a derogatory thing, like you're a jackass, you're a donkey. I never knew about donkey behavior, but then I saw this clip and I was kind of like, wait, is this what everyone's talking about?
What do you think? You're the coolest guy in the parking lot? And then this guy shows up.
So look how he comes in. He wants some of the water. Everyone's there. What does he do? Does he wait his turn? Does he sneak into the edge? He just starts fucking kicking everyone out of the way. And he eats.
Yeah.
I never seen anything like that.
I like donkeys. I think they punch above their weight. They're strong.
I'm worried if you had a kid on the farm that donkey will kick your kid in the head and kill him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I never even knew they were doing
donkeys
this.
are little assholes like that, yeah. I've seen a donkey kill a coyote before. Like, they fuck people
They
up.
stomp them.
Yeah, they bite them. They bite their neck and they pick them up.
Yeah. All right, our next clip is a moose attack. This guy's very close. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you when to pause, Richard, okay?
Using the trees to get between you is pretty smart.
Right? Pause it real quick. Right there. You have an opportunity to punch him square in the face.
Oh, no. Do not punch a moose. Do not punch a moose. No.
And then he'll run off.
Maybe.
And you have the trees in
Or
between
he'll get
you.
angry.
He's like poking his nose in. There's an opportunity to go right down the barrel, punch the moose in the face, and he doesn't and ends up coming back to haunt him.
Okay. We'll fast forward to the end, right?
Yeah.
The moose the whole time's giving him this side eye.
So there's a thing, guys. If you're seeing the white of their eyes and they're kind of giving you that look, they're planning to get you. So when you see that side eye and you see it's like the whale eye, you see too much white.
Yeah.
The moose is like 3, 2, like he's counting down in his head.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to be aware of that.
I agree with everything you said, except punch a moose, I think, is horrible, horrible advice. And you die from that.
But do you think the moose gets revenge for getting punched, or do you think he gets punched and goes, "What the fuck was that? I thought I was the predator. I'm out of here."
I think if you can't get away too, you got to play the trees, the tight bunches of trees. Because moose with his big antlers, he can't get through
You
that.
take his antlers and you snap his neck.
I don't know who you think you are. John Wick.
I
Moose.
really believe if a moose was doing that to me, I would grab his antlers and I would at least fucking throw him on the ground.
Okay. All right.
All right, next, this is funny. This guy's selling no soliciting signs.
I was just wondering if you'd like to purchase a no soliciting sign.
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
I'm trying to put myself out of business. $4.
No, I'm good.
Would you like a no trespassing sign?
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
I'm good, thank you.
May I interest you in a no soliciting sign?
I would love a no soliciting sign.
It's $5.
No, I'm good. Thank you. So you're soliciting the no soliciting sign?
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I'm good. I appreciate it.
May I interest you in a no soliciting sign?
I don't think I need one.
Do you like people like me showing up to your door?
It's okay. I don't mind every once in a while, you know.
And do you want a no trespassing sign?
I don't need anything. I'm good, man.
You need a no soliciting sign then if you don't need anything.
I'm all right.
Would you like to buy a no soliciting sign? It's just $4.
$4?
Yeah, no, this will never happen to you again.
That's a good sell. I like that. I don't have any cash on me.
I take Venmo.
Yeah.
Cash App.
If you want a no soliciting sign,
Pretty funny.
That guy ends up buying it too at the end.
That's a good sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I like no soliciting.
It's a good bit. Do you have you don't have a sign, right?
I don't have a sign. I like...
Yeah, you get sucked into everything. What are you talking about? You have a kid who comes over and cleans your car for like shit.
We were talking...
You're like a sucker.
There's some days if everything went bad where there would be like 20 people. Like the gardeners come, the pool guy comes, the kid who tries to wash my car will come, the Jehovah's Witnesses will come, the mailman comes, UPS will come.
Amazon, UPS,
FedEx.
The amount of packages you get, yeah.
You know, and then it's just like, what am I, a fucking doorman?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, how can I help you? Oh, I'm here to drop off the coupons. I'm the mailman. Yeah. Here's a coupon for fucking pool
God forbid you start getting into some Uber Eats.
Uber Eats?
God forbid. Yeah. I know. A lot of people come to your...
A lot of people come to the door. I'm a popular guy.
Yeah. You're a sucker.
All right. Next, this guy cuts his wife's hair with his construction laser. It's kind of funny.
My wife thinks that this is worth showing. I'm cutting her hair. She thinks it's funny that I'm using my laser in the window. I don't know how else the hairdressers would do it. So we have options here. We can go like I could only take off maybe say 7 or 8 inches, and then if you like it, I could go another 5 inches.
That's funny.
Yeah, you get it.
It's Americana.
That's man brain. That's what a man would do.
Yeah.
And she can't move the entire time. That's pretty important.
Yeah. That's cool.
Can't eyeball it.
That's funny, and it's nice blue-collar haircut.
Sure.
And that wasn't our Pure Americana clip of the week. We actually have a very special shout-out for our Pure Americana clip of the week. It's for our dear friend Jamie, a.k.a. Jam West, who is a longtime show watcher, and there is a very important question that needs answering.
Okay.
Jamie, your boyfriend Casey loves you very much. Will you marry him? Let us know in the comments. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah,
We're
that's
getting engagement
crazy.
shout-outs?
That's crazy.
Congrats, guys.
Yeah, hopefully you said yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jamie. She's been one of the more important show watchers since the beginning. She's like top.
Yeah.
She's a top third show watcher.
A general.
But
I gotta say, I'm a little uncomfortable with that.
Really?
Yeah, the babies, the announcements. I want to stop being involved. They're making us do crazy stuff.
I like it. I think it's so cool.
I know, but man, that got crazy for me.
Well, I think you're nervous because you don't know how it could go.
Well, yeah, and then we don't get instant feedback on it. We have to wait and hear about it
But all
later.
we did is what we had to do. He's already on one knee with the ring in his pocket.
I know.
It's all happening right now. They're hugging and kissing right now.
I know.
They're going to
It's
start a
crazy.
whole family.
Crazy.
They're starting their life together.
Good for you guys.
That's great. And they're show watchers. And maybe they met through the show somehow.
Man,
They probably watched the show together at least.
That's, I think, part of the plan. They better.
Yeah.
Imagine she's watching it alone. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations, you two. Congratulations to Jam West.
Yeah.
Very excited for you guys. It's very cool to shout you out like that. Thank you for including us. We are now connected for life.
Sure.
All right, another Fleckus Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you want 30 minutes more show, FleckusTalks.com for Bonus Land dropping tomorrow at 11 a.m. We have a great show and the Q&A next week. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. We will see you tomorrow.
From Cringe of the Week and Urban Decay, there's uplifting gold and Fleckus pets getting trolled. Coming up to brighten your day. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Best to keep the P.O. box full. We won't stop till the world is rid of
Because they're used to eating people. Specifically us. They love the taste of our melanin.